Good late afternoon from Bali, everyone. It's Aneva Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the waking, the dreaming, and the deep sleep state. Yet, I thought I will come back to that because I did add those videos links to my last video, so you can certainly look back, and the last video has links for all of those states. And today, there's such a wonderful awareness that I have become aware of that I thought I'd share it with you because it's again in line with what I'm trying to share with you these days in these videos. So now, I'd like us to understand what creates the ego, because we might think that, I still want to overcome this ego, and I'm starting to understand that ego means I either feel better than others, or I feel less than others, or not so confident, or super confident, and we link that all with egos, and hopefully you have been watching my videos to learn that too. But I thought I'd start with this quote, because these quotes that I'm sharing today are from the Upanishads, and again, I do feel that various scriptures talk about very similar things, but in Bali, of course, there's a lot of awareness or link with the Upanishads, and for this one, for sure, there is a draw towards this teaching. So I thought I'd share this first quotation, which says, "God made the senses turn outwards, man therefore looks outwards and not into himself. But occasionally, a daring soul, desiring immortality, has looked back and found his soul." And this is again from the Upanishads, so I'll read that again. It says, "God made the senses turn outwards. Man therefore looks outwards, not into himself. But occasionally, a daring soul, desiring immortality, has looked back and found himself." And you think, what does that mean? Because again, how do you look back and find yourself? And it is going within, and certainly understanding ourselves from this space. And this whole idea of daring immortality, remember that the soul is eternal, and eternal energy is what we've come from. And certainly if we think of ourselves as spiritual beings, this is that eternal space. And then this immortality idea is being part of that space that is eternal, it's immortal. So it had no particular birth, it has no particular death, that's that immortal space. And who would want to be in that space? Because so many people would prefer to be in the body and experiencing life in terms of what we see, what we smell, what we hear, what we talk about, what we think about, all of those things, and or what we touch, or what touches us, and how it feels, and all of those things are about how it feels. And it's always looking outside. This person makes me feel good, this situation makes me feel good, this experience makes me feel good, and so I look outward for those things. When we look within, we see that, wow, I've got all of that. I come back to that waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. Now remember the last video, I mentioned that we wake up and suddenly we have this connection with, my body, this is my body, or I am hungry, or I this or that. And in this time, we can start reflecting on this. If you are doing some contemplation, I sure hope you are. This time is a good awareness to have, that when we think about this time, we reflect on this time, we contemplate this time. And I had planted that seed of what makes us realize or think that that this is my body, or this is, I am hungry. I wasn't hungry while I was in deep sleep, but suddenly I'm hungry, I am thirsty, I have to finish this, I have to finish that, I have these responsibilities, this is my job. All of those things come to mind. And in deep sleep, I thought it was so lovely that if we can understand that in our day-to-day existence, all of our senses are very active, and so we do look outside. This is what touched me, this is what I smell, this is what I taste, this is what all of my senses have given that feedback, and it's outside of me that then I say is, I feel this way, I smell this, or I taste this, or I want this. All of these things come up. And in dream space, we know that the body is not participating in what we're doing, though sometimes we might flail an arm as we're running or something, and only someone beside us would really know. but we're not consciously moving our body. And our mind is not necessarily so functional. So it's in a different sort of space. But the mind and intellect is still functioning in the dream space. So the mind and intellect, remember the mind has the emotions, the feelings, the likes and dislikes. And then the intellect level has reasoning. And the reasoning is, oh, I understand I'm feeling this way because this happened, right? I understand why I do this because whatever. We have that logic behind it in the reasoning space. And even an understanding space or a judgmental space. And it's interesting that in deep sleep, there's a seed of the mind, just a seed. That's not really functioning in deep sleep. It's not actually participating, but it's there. And that seed in deep sleep is what in the morning allows us to wake up to, oh, I am this body, I am this person, I am responsible for this or that, I am doing this, I have to do this, I want to do this, I like this, I don't like this. All of that comes into the mind is in a seed state, in the deep sleep state. So we would think that, wow, so it's just that seed state because something does tell us we're awake in the morning or that we've had that good sleep. So even that we don't know in deep sleep that we're having a good sleep. When we wake up, we know, I know I have had a really good sleep, or I know I did not have a good sleep. What knows that? There is something that is observing all of this. And so I thought this was a wonderful quote to also share with you, that again, when we think about the gross level, which is, again, the physical body level, is the least strong, I'm going to say. Though that's where we think that we've got our strength, whether our muscles or what I do, what I say, all of those things, we feel very strong in that, and that's that gross level. And then that more subtle space, which was the thinking behind it, the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, the understanding, we feel that's a very strong space. So now we've started relating mind and body. And the more subtle we go, the more strength there is. So these really subtle spaces, until we're looking within and actually experiencing it, we will always many will give more credit to either the subtle space or the gross level space of this is what I've done or this is what I think. And I'm going to share with you what I think. So yeah, I will say that this mind feels at that most subtle space, and it's not only this mind, I will say the Upanishads say this quite regularly, the more subtle the space, the more potential, the more power, the more strength, the more wisdom. And that's the space of that soul energy. And so this quotation by Sri Aurobindo, I thought was very fitting. And Sri Aurobindo actually followed the Upanishads quite closely too. He said, "Late I learned that when reason died, then wisdom was born. Before that liberation, I had only knowledge." I love it. And it's true. And don't we feel so smart when we have knowledge? I know this. And again, that's that seed space that's coming through into our actions today. If we have the humility or the surrender of, wow, something comes through me in that space that then feeds this mind in this space, and then it's how I direct this mind that allows an action to come through this form, yet there is something beyond this form, this intellect, this reasoning even, that shapes this direction or kind of puts that seed into this direction. And again, because many people have learned that, well, when I'm smart or when I've had experience with something or other, that's my knowledge. And knowledge is certainly necessary, I'll even say, to even get to this space of liberation. When we think about liberation, what are we being liberated from? We're being liberated from this identification with the mind-body. Only some people would like that. If you imagine that most people would love that, what do you mean? Like if I was like not identifying, then so what, I can't eat a steak every day? And we do know that with reasoning, we might say that, wow, that could raise the cholesterol in my body if I had a steak every day. I could lead to other health concerns. So I might think of that logic that might change. Something beyond that too helps us know that, yeah, anything in excess is not great. So even good things eaten regularly might not be great for a particular body, and that takes a lot of wisdom to remind us that, wow, you know, apples are really good, but I always get a stomach ache from them. If I know this, then I change my actions accordingly. So this is liberating ourselves from the bondage of the body and mind, and that space of freedom allows true creativity, allows true openness and open curiosity, a love and compassion for not ourselves only, but all of mankind, a respect, a kindness, and this wisdom that flows through that. Certainly, because humility, I believe, also grows in this space, we can thank the universe or God or anyone we'd like to some divine energy that's coming through us, that's allowing us to function in the best way we can from the equipment that we're using, and hopefully improving as we move along. I thought that one of the things that I'd really like to do when I'm working with clients that choose to come out to Bali with me is to also share a thought or an intention, because again, most people, or many people, I shouldn't say most people, many people have moved much more into an egoic space, and that egoic space is not very compassionate towards anything that it sees as other than itself. And a divine space sees everything as divine energy. Whether people are behaving divinely or not might be an opinion that this mind may hold because of its experiences and its lifetime, or many lifetimes, of learning and judgment and hurt and ego trying to keep this space safe. Yet, when we're in this open space of trusting the universe or God, I thought this was a very lovely thing for sharing today. And this is actually from the Katha Upanishad, and it says, I thought I'd finish with this today, and I hope that you will reflect on it and have a beautiful vision for how you interact with the world, because that's what I'd like to create from here too. This says, let us be together, let us eat together, let us be vital together, let us be radiating truth, radiating the light of life. Never shall we denounce anyone, never entertain negativity. And you know, deep things like this always get me choked up. And so I'm going to read that one more time. And it says, let us be together, let us eat together, let us be vital together, let us be radiating truth, radiating the light of life. Never shall we denounce anyone, never entertain negativity. And the reason that this is so big in this mind's experience is we are so incredibly judgmental towards ourselves and towards others, and constantly seeing what is not right about what others are doing, especially occasionally looking down on ourselves. And this love is radiating a light, a love. This is divine love, radiates this light, knowing that each person is on their journey and at various spots in their journey. And even for this mind body to feel better than, it would not. There is a humility in the space that learns more, that understands more, that has more compassion because of an openness and with an understanding of everyone is going through their journey in the right timing for them. And if we can radiate the light, perhaps it helps them move forward. Anyone, including ourselves, helps us all move forward in beautiful ways that is truly from a space of compassion and love. And I do believe that all scriptures actually encourage this. And then I feel that man, woman, people really like the feeling of control. And remember, the feeling of control is at the gross level of the body. And so, yes, many, I'll even say religious organizations have moved into more of that control and fear. And it's not from the compassionate, loving space. Today, even if you're part of any religious organization that is somewhat directly or indirectly influencing that energy, come back to this and see if you can radiate the light and lift others so that you don't denounce anyone and do not entertain negativity. I hope this made sense to you today, and I hope that you understand that seed that is us that then comes into, excuse me, coughing? No. Yeah, the seed of allergies is in me right now. I can tell you that this is us. This is what we carry. So anything that we feed subconsciously is that seed that's just ready to burst forth when we wake up in the morning. That energy is, yes, divine driven, yet ourselves followed through. So in that, from divinity, there is no judgment. There's just the awareness of it. So that when we have that awareness of, wow, I'm thinking this way, I'm speaking this way, I'm behaving this way, is this divine, is this not? That is the seed of divinity coming through this human form. Today, I wish you all that awareness, and I hope that this video made sense. I will talk about the sleeping, the waking, and the deep sleep state again, but I do hope you look at the previous videos too. I wish you a fantastic day or night ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.